Off. I'm
So
behind speakers.
Yeah, if I could get you to scoot in as close, I know it's kind of tight, but yeah,
It's,
perfect.
yeah.
And I'm gonna sit here and make sure I have the right levels.
How many studios do you have in here? It looks like a huge warehouse.
It is a big factory that we have here, like a big.
It is a factory, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
and we moved in about 9 years
It's
ago,
not
I
going
think.
anywhere.
Yeah, that won't move,
Okay, so I'll
unfortunately.
move right
And
here.
sit-
You're
sit
just
straight.
fine.
I'm good right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're being videoed.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, because the background's really pretty too.
I know. It's kind of reclining behind you just to make sure.
Yeah,
everything's
I'm
perfect
hiding
over there.
behind the speaker.
So-
Don't slouch.
Well, it's kind of hard to get this close and not slouch because this chair is leaning backwards and it won't lean forward. So, I mean, there's only so much I can do here.
I think everything looks good. I'd like
Yeah.
to get the level check. Can you tell me your name?
Check,
and
check, check. Fabien Cousteau, Ocean Explorer, Aquanaut, and Voice for the Oceans.
All right, so Fabien, let's begin. The first thing I want to ask you is if you could tell our listeners about the Mission 31. Why did you go and what did you accomplish?
Well, Mission 31 was a theory in the beginning, a goal that I set, which was to live and work underwater for 31 days in the world's only remaining undersea marine laboratory called Aquarius, which is right off of the Florida Keys, 9 miles offshore and 65 feet down. And the reason why I chose to do this as a mission, as an expedition, is to really bring the focus and the attention of the world, of the general public, back towards our life support system, our circulatory system of life, which is the oceans.
Why do you call it that, the circulatory system of life? What is it about the oceans?
Well, imagine life without oceans. There is no such thing. It is quite literally the universal connector. It connects each and every one of us on this planet, whether we know it or not, whether we live next to it or not, whether we live 1,000 miles away from it. You know, if you're skiing on top of a mountain, you're skiing on the oceans. And because of that, water is that connector. It's quite literally the essence that makes us possible. You know, and we're facing some very real problems right now. We're facing some problems related to climate change. We're facing some problems related to the depletion of natural resources. We're facing enormous problems with pollution in our ocean. And the reason that I'm mentioning these things is not necessarily for people to either feel bad or you know, or whatever. These are facts, and the facts are now becoming more and more evident as we delve in deeper. We've explored less than 5% of our ocean world to date, and we're going to places, my team and I are going to places where no human being's ever been, and we're seeing signs of human impact. And why should that be important is, again, because this is the universal connector, it's our life support system, it gives us everything that we know, that we love, that we depend on. And what happens to the oceans is happening to us, whether we know it or not. By that I mean that the pollution that we're putting in our oceans is quite literally ending up in our own circulatory system, in our own bodies, through the advent of drinking water, through the advent of eating sea life that has been polluted. And those things, of course, trigger off the kinds of things that we really don't like and don't want to face up to, which is cancer and learning and behavioral disabilities, physical disabilities, and all sorts of things that ail our species and many others. Now, that's the bummer part of it. the mission of Mission 31 was really to be empowering, to look at this fantastic alien world through the lens of adventure, and staying, you know, there's no better way than to explore a frontier than staying on that frontier in a log cabin, so to speak, and really going out and exploring it in a way that is akin to the residents of those areas, such as coral reefs, which are the underwater cities.
How are the coral reefs? How was the health of the coral reefs when you were in this Mission 31, on the Mission 31, and what month was that?
Well, Mission 31 achieved its 31st day on July 2nd of this year, of 2014. And we got a really good look and a chance to see the coral reefs in that area in a way that's simply not possible from diving down for 45 minutes and trying to do some sampling and taking some scientific data. Here we really had the luxury of time, and that is an invaluable tool to get a good pulse for the health of our oceans and for the health of our coral reefs right here in Florida, which are the basis for a lot of the tourism dollars that I guess pragmatically speaking are the economic underpinnings of Florida.
And you're previewing a film about Mission 31 at the Blue Ocean Film Festival this week in St. Petersburg. How do you hope to bring that message to more people through this film festival?
Well, I think, we're visual creatures. I know that I much prefer experiential learning. I do enjoy stories. I very much enjoy sharing stories. And being able to bring to the public that's going to attend the Blue Ocean Film Festival on November 4th, I think our marquee event's at 7:30 p.m. Over at the Mahaffey Theater in St. Pete, we'll really be able to give a much better insight, much more in-depth look at the things that we learned during Mission 31, the funny stories that happened to us as visitors on the coral reef, the interaction with the animals there, the kinds of crazy foods that we ate, and all sorts of pragmatic things, of course, as well as insight into the future. And we'll be able to show some video that has never been seen before, that we haven't posted online, and that will be part of the resulting documentary next year.
Can we get a sneak preview of one of the funny things you saw or ate, or do we have to wait till tomorrow?
Oh, of course. Well, actually, some of those insights you can get a kind of a glimpse on the mission-31.com website. We've been able to post 31 videos in 31 days. Now, of course, those are just teasers on our website. Some of the things that we're going to show tomorrow evening are maybe more insight on the kinds of foods that we ate, so astronaut type of food, freeze-dried foods, for very pragmatic reasons. For those divers out there, you might be familiar with saturation, and for those who are not, saturation is when your body acclimates to the pressure depths or the partial pressures of the air that you're breathing at a given depth. So for us, it was 3 atmospheres, so the air density was 3 times what we're breathing here in the studio. And with that comes all sorts of effects, a bit of nitrogen narcosis, but more importantly, it gives us an equilibrium with the outside world so that we could venture off free, as opposed to diving down for 60 feet for 60 minutes, for example. We could stay at 60 feet indefinitely. The only limitations really are our air supply and how fatigued we are, how cold we are. So we would routinely go out for 3, 4, 5 hours or more at a time, which really gives us a much better perspective and a much better amount of time to be able to collect all that science, that data, and just observational learning.
Thanks, I appreciate your time today.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to see you all at the event.
Thanks so much for joining me.
I must have answered all your questions in one shot, I'm sorry.
No, it's just fine. Let me just save this. I want to make sure I have everything saved before we go too far.
Tannoy speakers, great speakers. My friend who does a bit of mixing and he's an audio technician, loves those. He has some other ones now. I think he switched, but loves Tannoys. Very neutral sounding.
Oh, good. I didn't know enough about I wasn't the person who equipped the studio. But
Yeah,
it's good to hear
it's a good choice for sure. You can buy amp them and everything. I don't know which models are the best and all that. I'm sure it's all